While everybody's getting seated, if it's okay with you, I'd like to say a big word of welcome. We're so excited to have you here in honor of Tim and it's what he's meant to our church. And I want you to know, they say women can't keep a secret, but we did. He didn't know anything till he came in the door about this party. So we kept our secret. We're excited for him and blessed that he's going to have more time to spend with his family, even though we're sad for us. But I wanted to make just a quick couple of announcements before we start. Where's Eve? I saw her, and she's just there's Eve. We didn't sing to Eve last week, so we can't forget when we close out we're going to sing to Eve's birthday. Because if I have to get older every year, everybody else does.
And today is our 49th wedding anniversary.
49th wedding anniversary. All right. Very good. Well, we are excited to have you here. And I'm Naomi Hughes, the church janitor, and Denise is the church decorator. Everybody got a new title this week. Miss Pam is the chef, and she's been running errands, and we've had people you never would have guessed on hands and knees scrubbing floors yesterday because they've been doing construction in this building all week. So I will apologize for a little bit of the mess, but you should have seen us yesterday. It wasn't nearly this nice yesterday. When we finish, I'm going to give you some directions about the meal and how we're going to seat people. And that's the last announcement that I have to make this morning. But I've told Tim, and I told him that I would announce it to the whole group. It's not paranoia if people really are whispering behind your back. And we've whispered, and we've deleted texts, and we've deleted emails. And we've done everything in the world to have a big surprise for Tim today. So we are all excited to be here. And with that note, I'm going to turn the service over at this point to Bill Washburn, who's going to direct music from the piano today. And once again, welcome.
Naomi.
What did I forget? Oh, sorry, I have one more job.
While she's doing that, if you'll turn in your bulletin, you notice I always have a theme, and my theme today is Tim's favorite. I asked Tim ahead of time to give me his favorite hymns, and he also picked out the scripture reading for today. But before we begin, I would like you to take your hymnals, and I want you to turn to page 454. When I do the offertories, I always like to put the hymn number in the bulletin, so hopefully that you would turn to that number and read the words as I play. As a pianist and an instrumentalist, the one thing we don't have is the words. So I always feel like you don't get the full message of that hymn. But I want to draw your attention to the two offertories that I'll be doing today, because I think it's a challenge to us as a church, and I'm sure this would be a challenge that Tim would give to us as a church as well. On page 454, called the Family Prayer Song, I want you to notice the words, "Come and fill our homes with your presence. You alone are worthy of our reverence. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." That's our challenge. And then if you look across to page 456, this was a hymn that Steve Green made popular. There are verses to this, but this is just the chorus. But this is the challenge to us as a church, to you as the church family, that he would find us faithful. Notice it says, "Oh, may all who come behind us find us faithful. May the fire of our devotion light their way. May the footprints that we lead them to believe, and the lives we live inspire them to obey. Oh, may all who come behind us find us faithful." And may that be our heritage, that we would be found faithful, and we would be faithful to the generations to come. Naomi, come back.
My apologies. Randy Brown, who's known affectionately in our congregation as Jean's pastor from First United Methodist Church, wrote a beautiful prayer and message for Tim. Unfortunately, I can't find it this morning. in all of my confusion. I will post that prayer for you on Facebook and email it to anybody who's on our email list. So when you sign the guest book, if you'll put me an email on there, I will get that to you, because it was a wonderful, sweet blessing for Tim, discussing how much he's meant to us, how much his friendship means to Randy, and wishing him many, many, many blessings going forward. The only other copy I have is on my phone that we're using to tape with, so I am bumfuzzled this morning and apologizing, but I will get it to you. Don't forget to leave me your email addresses, and I'll get it to you.
Thank you. So in your bulletin, if you'll turn to number 815 as our call to worship, the doxology, let's stand as we sing. Turn to 779, I'll Fly Away, and there's a great history to this hymn in our church. We had a wonderful gentleman named Don, and this was his favorite, and I know it's one of Tim's favorites also. So we'll sing all three verses, 779.
Wow. I haven't got to say hi to everybody, so. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to have so many friends and family to be here to celebrate my husband. Hi, Miss Donna. I didn't get to see you. We're going to do the prayer list. After we do, if anyone has a prayer request, please feel free to let me know. We're going to give praise to Cambridge. We got to see her. We got to meet her in person Friday. We don't have enough time for me to stand here and tell you what a beautiful, beautiful baby. Precious. Tim's nephew, Brett, my nephew, is having surgery on Tuesday. And it's going to be an invasive surgery. So keep him in your prayers.
Jim Johnson, Dad, hi sweetheart. I haven't got to come back there and get my hug yet. I will before it's over with. We're giving praise to Pam. Where are you, Pam? There you are. She stayed with Dad this week. Did y'all behave?
What happened at our house stays at our house.
Okay. I won't ask any more questions.
They were partying every time I called them.
Well, I know you blessed them, and I know they appreciate it.
Amen.
Praise for Amber's friend Sid, who continues outpatient treatment but is still attending school. Where are you,
Yeah.
Amber? There you are.
She's doing good in school. Everybody crowds her every day, but she's doing good.
Good. At least you got to come back. Praise for all of those who participated in this week's special project, especially for Denise, Pam, Naomi, Bill, June, Dick, Amber, and Caitlin. We thank you all. As you can tell, we're under construction. It will be beautiful when it's finished, but hey, we could have this outside on a rock, couldn't we, Larry?
Yes, ma'am.
Special prayers is for the church to locate and to hire a new pastor. Keep us in prayer. And for the growth of our church. Doing pretty good this morning. If it was tomorrow, I'd say April Fools. Tim's not retiring. We're going to expect everybody next week. Denise's friend Tina, husband Doug, is having surgery for a woman tomorrow. Denise's sister Tina is awaiting.
They did look at her results and they're gonna test again in 2 months. They're not satisfied yet.
Okay. We're gonna pray for my husband, your pastor, for today. Tim's hip stem cell is coming up on 4/9. The doctor says they have had good results in knees, and we're gonna pray hard that it will help his hip. And if he can get out of pain, then he can do more rehab to make him stronger. Richard's friend Wayne. Okay. I wanted to give a gift to the Thomases this morning. It was gonna be a gift to Tim and I too, but I wanted it to be for them because every one of them was gonna be here today, and that's been the first time we'd all been in church together since we was little. But John, their oldest brother, went into the hospital 2 days ago. Last night he was put into ICU, and it's very critical. So we don't know what's gonna happen. Richard?
Just got a text from my sister about John. Said that John did have a heart attack.
Last night there was talk of whether to put him on life support or not. So, very critical. And Dave's friend Brian, Lou Gehrig disease.
Yeah, Eve and I went to Vanderbilt. He's in Vanderbilt for a short spell right now. He had a blood clot on his lung. And he's just hanging in there. He's really tough. He's a co-worker of mine that has a sweet wife and 5 children, and for him to come down with this. And he's about 32 years old, I believe. And it's just devastating to the family. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for praying for him. The family needs it.
You bet.
The good thing to say is that because of this, we were all worried about his soul when he first was diagnosed months ago, but we're not worried about his soul anymore.
Amen. That's wonderful.
There was a great thing, let me say this, the way that God works and the praise, I want to praise because Brian Ray was a heating and air technician before he came down with this, and he had a lot of customers, and they would always ask for him to come back if they had any issues. And one of his really good customers gave him a van yesterday, bought a van that he could roll in and out of. I want to praise God for touching this man's heart and letting him give this new van to fly.
Amen.
God works in a lot of ways, and we love him. He shows us that he loves us in so many ways.
Every day when we don't even recognize it.
Amen. Thank you.
The health and all the others, everyone are important, but because there's more things going on today, I'm gonna say we're still praying for everyone on here. Are there any other special prayer requests?
Jean, a coworker of mine, she's a young nurse. Her father died last night, and those from Westmoreland may know him, Keith Ritchie. And he had some heart issues, so he passed away last night. So remember the Keith Ritchie family.
Okay. Always say unspoken request because everybody's not as comfortable speaking out, and I understand that. So any and all unspoken requests are always acknowledged. Anyone else? I just gotta say, I look around and I see family, and my heart is always so full to be able to worship with my family. And yes, Naomi, you are my family. I think the last time I said that, you spoke up and said, well, we're your family. I guess I should put the blood in there, and I see several out there, and it just fills my heart. Anyone else? Prayers for this grandbaby sitting over here on the front line?
Anytime, I'm ready. Do continue to pray for my mama's family, because she did lose her mom this week.
That's
so.
right. That's right. And we will. Anyone else? Jeff Gann, can I ask you to lead a prayer?
Sure. Father, we come to you today to thank you for all the blessings that we see, the ones we don't, and the ones that are yet to be bestowed on us. I want to thank you for getting everyone here safely. Ask you to be with my brother-in-law Tim, to keep him strong as he brings forth the message, and if there be someone here that don't know you, that they would surrender their life to you. I ask all these things in the most precious name I know, Jesus Christ. Amen.
And for everybody that has not met my brother yet, you just did. Everybody here knows the name Jeff Gann. Thank you. Yes, he made this.
For our next hymn, if you will turn to 527, I Know Whom I Have Believed, and we'll sing all 4 verses. number 705, it is well with my soul. Trust all of us can say that it is well with our soul. We'll sing with the little arrows, verses 1, 3, and 4.
Today's reading is Genesis chapter 1, 1 through 28. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear," and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas, and God saw it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit, after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the face of the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seeds after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seeds was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, and to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw it was good. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have domination over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have domination over fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
Roger, you did a great job.
Yes, he did.
That was great.
Thank you, buddy.
For our offertory hymn, one of the all-time greats, number 343, Amazing Grace, singing all 5 verses, standing as we sing.